The acting police chief of Dalton, now facing federal charges. A grand jury indicted him on bankruptcy fraud charges today.
So Lightfoot's investigation, at least according to trustees, is back on now.
The message is related to the secret squirrel means yes.
Last night, Mayor Tiffany Henyard swiftly silenced trustees and critics, leaving no room for debate. During an emergency meeting held late last month, the board unanimously approved a resolution calling for a federal investigation into the mayor.
Great day in Dalton. Justice is being served.
Fred Elston has been the assessor here at Thornton Township for the past 10 years, an elected position that helps residents deal with exemptions and property tax appeals. But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
That's important.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now she's out in the open?
Breaking news. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, has been arrested by the FBI in a dramatic turn of events. For those who've been following the unfolding scandal, this development comes as no surprise. Earlier reports hinted at her extravagant shopping sprees and luxury vacations, all allegedly funded through questionable wire transfers. I'm sure you've heard. Tiffany Henyard, authorities claim she funneled the town's funds into a staggering mountain of debt that has left Dalton reeling under her leadership. The investigation took a shocking turn when federal agents executed a search warrant at her home, uncovering hidden safes and a trove of unexpected evidence. The findings are jaw-dropping, painting a picture of misconduct that goes far deeper than anyone anticipated. With the evidence piling up, the case against Henyard is intensifying, leaving many to question the extent of her alleged misdeeds. Stay with us as we unravel the details of this explosive investigation and its potential impact on Dalton's future. Dalton gave me... Oh my God. Stay tuned as we dive into the latest developments and uncover the startling details behind these shocking discoveries. What does it all mean for Tiffany Henyard and the future of Dalton? If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss any updates on this unfolding drama. This isn't your typical small-town scandal. Tiffany Henyard was living the high life, rivaling a Kardashian, while Dalton's finances crumbled into chaos. Imagine this: designer handbags, lavish trips around the globe, and a security detail costing more than most people's homes. All the while, the town she was elected to serve was sinking deeper into financial ruin. The story is far from over, and the revelations only get wilder from here. Stay with us as we break it all down. With the FBI closing in, the truth about Tiffany Henyard's actions is beginning to surface, and it's getting messier by the minute. From all appearances, Henyard may have been funding her extravagant lifestyle with money taken from Dalton's hardworking residents. And as the investigation progresses, more shocking details are coming to light, and the FBI has reportedly gathered enough evidence to pursue serious charges against her. However, this investigation is far from over, and questions remain about just how deep this scandal runs. Could there be even more hidden behind the facade of luxury that Henyard was living? Is this the end of her tenure as mayor, or will she find a way to maneuver out of the mounting pile of evidence against her? One thing is certain: the drama is just beginning. The people of Dalton have been demanding answers, and it seems they are finally about to get them. With the FBI bringing the full weight of the law to bear, this story is far from reaching its conclusion. Stay tuned, because the revelations yet to come could change everything. You won't want to miss a single update as this explosive case continues to unfold.
Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
I motion that we pay the bills for the general fund. Is there a second? Motion is second.
I had trouble following it as well, but now Keith Freeman is cooperating, doing what he should have been done in the first place.
cooperating with trustees.
With the trustees, absolutely. Doing it.
In recent months, Tiffany Henyard, once the infamous mayor of Dolton, has undergone a dramatic transformation from being at the center of every controversy to almost vanishing from the public eye. While her downfall seemed inevitable, the drama surrounding her is far from over. Rumors are swirling that Henyard has gone into hiding, attempting to lay low and cover her tracks in a desperate bid to evade the mounting scrutiny closing in on her. But let's be real, how long can she stay off the radar before the authorities, especially the FBI, catch up with her? Her tumultuous tenure, marked by missteps, scandals, and endless allegations, appears to be unraveling at last. Watching this saga unfold feels like witnessing a slow Mason car crash, and the final impact promises to be just as shocking. It appears to be just as shocking. It's hard not to grab some popcorn and watch this drama unfold. Is Tiffany Henyard on the run, or is she simply lying low to dodge the heat? Either way, one thing is clear: she has a lot to answer for. The community, along with the broader public, is eagerly awaiting the final showdown. The people of Dolton, in particular, have reached their breaking point. Even the Board of Trustees seems to have had enough, signaling that it's time to turn the tables on her. Henyard has long made it clear that the only opinion she values is her own, consistently ignoring the concerns and needs of the people she was elected to serve. This dismissive mindset has alienated both residents and her political allies. The latest chapter in this ongoing saga serves as a stark reminder of what happens when leadership loses touch with its community. The divide between Tiffany Henyard and those who once stood by her. Recently, Henyard attempted to regain some semblance of control by calling for a town meeting, likely hoping to rally support or project authority. Instead, the event delivered a harsh blow to her pride. Not a single member of the Board of Trustees attended. The empty seats were more than just a logistical inconvenience. They were a resounding statement. The board had clearly decided they were done playing by Henyard's rules, opting instead to send a powerful message of defiance. This public snub from those who were once integral to her administration marks a pivotal moment in her political career. It's a stark reminder of just how far Henyard has fallen from grace. The tensions between her and the board have reached a boiling point, leaving her credibility and authority in shambles. And when it comes to them, the lack of support from the Board of Trustees, a group that was once a cornerstone of her leadership, signals a broader collapse of trust and influence that may be impossible for her to recover from. Tiffany Henyard now faces a storm of political, legal, and public fallout, with mounting legal battles, ethical questions surrounding her leadership, and an ever-greening number of critics both within and outside her administration. She finds herself increasingly isolated and struggling to regain her footing. Working to extract herself from the wreckage of the political system, Tiffany Henyard wanted so desperately to return to work. As the community watches with bated breath, the question looms: can Henyard salvage anything from this unraveling disaster? Or is her political career truly nearing its end? The drama is far from over, but the town of Dolton seems to have reached its breaking point. Residents are demanding answers, and Henyard's ability to sidestep accountability appears to be dwindling by the day. The tension is palpable, and the stage is set for what could be the final act of her troubled tenure as mayor. Whether Henyard can weather the storm, or if this marks the beginning of the end for her political ambitions, remains to be seen. One thing is certain, however: the people of Dolton are ready to see her held accountable. As the drama unfolds, the ultimate question persists: can she stage a comeback, or has the curtain finally fallen on her political career?
Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wanted the Board of Trustees to approve some events that she wants the township to pay for, but none of the trustees showed up for this.
Unshaken by the board's snub, Tiffany Henyard took center stage and turned the incident into a theatrical display. In characteristic style, she framed the ongoing corruption scandal as a grand propaganda scheme aimed at undermining her glorious reign. "This is what all the hate is about," she proclaimed. "Your super mayor became too powerful too quickly. I'm rare, I'm unique, and that's why everyone has a problem." It's all about control. It started out small and grew and grew and grew. Her defiant tone filled the room as she continued, unbothered by the growing discontent. This is me making my statement. If you don't want to hear it, there's the door. But the residents of Dalton, fed up with her rhetoric, were not in the mood for theatrics. One attendee cut through her monologue with a blunt remark. We already know you're stealing from us. The accusation hung in the air, but Tiffany remained unfazed, brushing it off as though it were just another part of the campaign against her. Her confidence seemed unshakable, but the crowd's growing frustration suggested that patience with her antics was wearing dangerously thin. As whispers rose, the music picked up. Undeterred, Tiffany continued her speech, fully immersed in her own narrative as though nothing had been said to challenge her. However, her use of Dalton's taxpayer money had already sparked serious concerns among the local community, especially after legal efforts uncovered troubling details. But when GN investigators obtained credit card records that revealed Henyard and her team racked up a staggering $67,000 in travel expenses on Thornton Township's account over the course of just 5 months. But that wasn't even the most shocking revelation. When the charges made to Dalton residents were included, the total expenses skyrocketed to over $100,000. The justification Henyard provided for these exorbitant expenses was, to say the least, far-fetched. She claimed that she and her entourage had been attending conferences, which seemed to be her only defense for spending public money. Yes, you read that correctly. Her explanation was that the lavish spending was necessary for conference attendance, even as taxpayers footed the bill for what many now consider questionable expenses. Been deliberately evading requests for Dalton's spending records, a move that raised even more alarms about the administration's transparency. This refusal to comply with state transparency laws was particularly concerning, as Henyard and her allies openly ignored multiple demands from the Illinois Attorney General's office, led by Kwame Rowe, to release the documents. The tension reached a boiling point when Gilly G's parent company decided to take legal action, filing a lawsuit in Cook County Circuit Court over the withheld information. The judge's ruling put even more pressure on Henyard, leaving the Dalton trustees to clean up the mess. Trustee Brown, a vocal critic of Henyard, revealed that the mayor had not only ignored the law, but had also manipulated the situation to keep the public in the dark. With mounting legal battles and the ongoing refusal to cooperate, Henyard's grip on power seemed to be slipping further by the day. And so Henyard at the time started to see dropped drastically, plunging to a staggering negative $12 million. The investigation, led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, uncovered a disturbing pattern of reckless spending, with Henyard's administration racking up substantial charges on village credit cards. This financial mismanagement was not just an isolated incident. It was systemic, leading to a severe depletion of the town's resources. In April 2022, the village's general fund had a healthy balance of $5.6 million. But by May 2024, the situation had deteriorated dramatically, with the fund plummeting to a deficit of $12 million. Lightfoot's findings were an alarming wake-up call, but the response from Henyard and her allies was to continue covering up the extent of the damage. Even though the truth was slowly emerging, key players within the administration were still working hard to suppress the information, fearing the public backlash that would inevitably follow. Lightfoot's findings were an alarming wake-up call, but the response from Henyard and her allies was to continue covering up the extent of the damage. Even though the truth was slowly emerging, key players within the administration were still working hard to suppress the information, fearing the truth was slowly emerging. A hilarious story. I hope you guys enjoy. I know I did. Despite the mounting evidence, Henyard's refusal to come clean only fueled the growing outrage within Dalton, as residents began to realize the full extent of the financial ruin her leadership had caused.